Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I want to show you how to crochet this beautiful and easy puff stitch winter beanie. The body of this hat is made with only one round, okay? For this hat, I used a worsted weight yarn and number 4.5 millimeters hook. We don't need to use two number of hook for the brim and the body because the puff stitch, these puff stitches for the body, make the body bigger than the brim. Okay, we first make a brim and then start the body around long edge of the brim. And I made it for child size, but you can adjust that for each size you want. If you're ready, let's get started. Start the work from the brim and make slip knot and then make 9 chains. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. These chains determine the height of the brim. If you want to have a higher brim, you can add more chains. And now I make 1 single crochet into each chain across. Skip first chain and go to next chain and make 1 single crochet into that. Again, go to next chain and make 1 single crochet into that. And repeat this work and make 1 single crochet into each chain until the end. And at the end, I have 8 stitches. Okay, now for next row, chain 1 and turn the work and make 1 single crochet into first stitch and make 1 single crochet into back loop of next stitch here. Again, go to next stitch and make 1 single crochet into back loop of that, and repeat this work. For other stitches, make 1 single crochet into back loop of each of them. And for last stitch, make 1 single crochet under both loops, such as the first stitch. Chain 1 and turn the work and repeat this row. Make 1 single crochet under both loops and 1 single crochet into back loop of each of middle stitches. And 1 single crochet under both loops of last stitch. Again, chain 1, turn the work and repeat this work and make 1 single crochet under both loops of first and last stitch and 1 single crochet into back loop of middle stitches. Okay, we have to repeat this work and make a rectangle with these rows, and the number of rows in this hat should be a multiple of 3. Okay, the length of this rectangle should be equal to circumference of head. So I repeat this work and make these rows several times until the length of this rectangle reach the desired circumference. I made 54 rows of single crochets, and now I'm ready to join both sides together and make a circle with that. So fold the piece in half and put 2 edges of that together and join 2 edges with slip stitches. Insert the hook into first stitch of last row and into foundation chain and make a slip stitch through both of them. Again, insert the hook into next stitch and next loop of first row and make a slip stitch, and repeat that. Make 1 slip stitch into each stitch of last row and each stitch of first row. Okay, now I have a circle. Turn this piece, and these slip stitches are inside the piece. Okay, now I want to start the body of the hat, so make one chain and one single crochet into same space here. Just join two sides together, and then go to next row of the brim and make a single crochet into last stitch of that. Again, go to the next row, make one single crochet into last stitch, and continue this work. You have to make one single crochet into each stitch of into last stitch of each row of the brim. Continue this work until the end. Okay, now there are 54 single crochets at the first round, and join with slip stitch into first single crochet, and then make 2 chains. In this round we have to make puff stitches, so make 1 puff stitch into first stitch here, yarn over, insert hook into first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Again, yarn over, insert hook into same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Again, yarn over and insert hook into same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now I have 7 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all of them, and then chain 1. Okay, this is a puff stitch. Then skip next 2 stitches of previous round and go to the next and make 2 puff stitches here. 1, 2, and 3 times. Pull through all of them and then chain 1 to secure this puff. Then make 1 chain and again make another puff stitch into same stitch. 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over, pull through all of them and chain 1. Okay, again skip next 2 stitches, go to the next and make 2 puff stitches here with 1 chain between them. 1, chain 1, and again make 1 puff stitch into same stitch. This is the first and second puff stitch, and chain. Actually, we have 2 chains between each puff stitches, these 2 puff stitches. The first chain is the closing chain of the puff stitch, and the second chain is the next chain that we made it. Okay, repeat that work. Skip next 2 stitches and go to the next, make 1 puff stitch and close that with 1 chain, and then again make chain 1, and now I have 2 chains here, and make another puff stitch into same stitch and then make 1 chain. Okay, we have to repeat this sequence and skip next 2 stitches and make 2 puff stitches with 1 chain between them into next stitch, and repeat until the end. Now I'm at the end of second round and there's 2 stitches left. Skip them and go to first stitch of previous round where made a puff stitch into that here, and make another puff stitch. Okay, yarn over, insert hook into base of this puff stitch here and make another puff stitch. 1, 2, and 3, and then chain 1, and then make a single crochet into first puff stitch here. Okay, and this single crochet counts as a chain 1 space between these 2 puff stitches, and start next round, round 3, with 2 chains, and go to this space here and make 1 puff stitch, and chain 1. And in this round we have to work into these spaces, chain 1 spaces between each 2 puff stitches. Okay, so go to this chain 1 space, or chain 2 space actually, and make 1 puff stitch, close that, then make 1 chain and another puff stitch into same chain space, and 1 chain. Again, go to next chain space between next 2 puff stitches here, not this space, but this chain 2 space. This is chain 1 space and this is chain 2 space. Make 1 puff stitch into that, chain 2 and another puff stitch, 1, 2 and 3, chain 1. Again, go to next chain space here and make 2 puff stitches, chain 1 and another puff stitch into that, chain 1, and repeat this work for other chain spaces between each 2 puff stitches, and make 1 puff stitch, 1 chain or 2 chain, and another puff stitch into all of them. Okay, I repeat that work until the end. At the end, make another puff stitch here into this space that we made a puff stitch at the beginning of the round. Okay, insert the hook into same space and make another puff stitch and close that with a chain, and then make a single crochet into first puff stitch here. Okay, this single crochet counts as a chain 1 space between these 2 puff stitches. And now for next round, again make 2 chains and make 1 puff stitch under this single crochet with 1 chain, and repeat round 2. We have to make 1 puff stitch and 1 chain, and again 1 puff stitch into each chain space between 2 puff stitches here, 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 and we repeat this round 3 several times until the height of the hat reach the desired size, and then come back to decrease the top of the hat. Okay, I repeated this round 8 more times, and now the height of the hat reached the desired size, and I'm ready to decrease the top of the hat. In this round, such as previous rounds, make 2 chains and 1 puff stitch under this single crochet, 1, 2 and 3, and chain 1 to close that, and go to next chain space between next 2 puff stitches and make 1 puff stitch, chain 1 to close the puff stitch. In this round we decrease the number of chains between puff stitches. Okay, so after this 1 chain, closing chain, make another puff stitch into same space and don't make another chain, chain 1. And now I have 1 chain only between these 2 puff stitches. Again, go to next chain space, make 1 puff stitch with 1 closing chain, and again another puff stitch into same space with 1 closing chain, and repeat that. The number of chains between puff stitches has become 1 and has decreased in this round. Okay, I repeat this work until the end. Okay, at the end make 1 puff stitch into first space and chain 1, and then make a slip stitch into first puff stitch of this round. Okay, now for next round, chain 2 and make 1 puff stitch here into this space between these 2 puff stitches. 1, 2 and 3, and then chain 1. Okay, go to next chain space, chain 1 space here, and make 1 puff stitch only. One chain. Go to next chain space between next 2 puff stitches and make 1 puff stitch with 1 closing chain, and repeat that for next chain spaces and make 1 puff stitch into all of them. Okay, we decrease the number of puff stitches from 2 to 1. Continue this work until the end. Okay, at the end, make slip stitch into first puff stitch and start next round with 2 chains again, and make 1 decrease puff stitch over these 2 puff stitches. So yarn over and make an incomplete puff stitch into this space, first space. 1, 2 and 3. Now don't complete this puff stitch, go to next space and make 1 incomplete puff stitch here. 1, 2 and 3. Now I have 13 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all of them together, and then 1 chain. This is a decrease puff stitch. Then repeat this work for each of next 2 puff stitches. Go to next chain space, make 1 incomplete puff stitch here, go to next puff space and make 1 incomplete puff stitch here, and yarn over, pull through all loops on the hook and close that with 1 chain, and repeat that and make 1 decrease puff stitch into next 2 spaces. Continue this work until the end. Okay, at the end make a slip stitch into first decrease stitch, and if you have a bigger hat, you can repeat this round 1 more time and make 1 decrease puff stitch over each of next 2 decrease stitches, and continue this work until this circle becomes small. Okay, now I want to cut the yarn, so make a chain and cut the yarn and leave a long tail and fasten off. Okay. Turn the hat inside out and with a needle weave this yarn through all spaces and stitches until the end. Pull the yarn and again repeat that for other stitches and other chain 1 spaces, and pull the yarn okay. Pull the yarn tightly to close this hole. And secure that with some stitches. Okay, cut the yarn and hide this tail and turn the hat to right side. And my pretty and simple winter hat is finished, and I can attach a pom-pom at top of that. I hope this video will be useful for you. If you like that, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and leave a comment. Have a nice day.